channel. How are you guys doing? This episode, obviously, this post-match reaction has to be dedicated to Il TUCU CORREA. Tu. Mi piaci tu. Tu. TUCU CORREA, man. Everyone was getting on his back at halftime. I saw all the tweets. Even I was saying, like, this guy is offering no nutmegs, no dribbles. This is what I want from TUCU CORREA when we signed him. I don't care if he score any goals. At least give me some sauce, some dribbles, some Latino magic. But he was doing nothing until halftime, and then he turned up in the second half. 2 goals, just like he did against Hellas Verona, and great goals as well. I mean, I'm gonna try. Let me see if I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try be sneaky to see if I can pull it up. And the goal's been deleted off Twitter, so I can't pull it up. But on the transition, guys, how good was that goal? And you tell me in the comments, guys, who else can score that goal in our team? Maybe Lautaro can score that goal here. Maybe beating the guy 1v1. Maybe Sanchez in his peak days, but no one else can score that type of goal in transition. This is what TUCU CORREA has been signed for, and that's what I was saying. Everyone's jumping on these guys' back already. Like CORREA, 31 million flop. We're in October, guys. We're still in October. It's gonna be November tomorrow. You can't call people flop straight away. Like, you have to give these guys some time. And Benjamin says, prove this transfer fee today. Of course, he can't prove your transfer fee in 1-2 matches, but today, giving himself some time, because I already saw Inter fans in the stadium were trying to turn on him. He made a few mistakes in the second half, some passing mistakes, some link up mistakes, but let's give these guys some time, guys. Let's give these time some guys. And yeah, he's definitely silencing his haters. Dumfries made his louder. I don't know about that one, bro. Future Hendricks, he was definitely stinky at some points. He has some stinky moments for sure. But overall, he had an assist today, and I believe that's his second or third assist this season. So when we needed him, he did kind of turn up. But there were some encouraging signs from Dumfries today. But overall, he's a funny player. He's a funny player, though, isn't he? Like, some of his touches, some of his step overs that he tries to do, he's so clunky to watch. But yeah, Goran, good game overall, though, in terms of Inter's performance. Did what we needed to do. And three predictions in a row correct for me now. The Juve one, the Empoli one, and today is 2-0, another clean sheet, and this is what we want. And yeah, if you join in, Anthony's here to join me as well, straight from his stream. Once again, bro, without repeating yourself, anything. How are you feeling now that you've talked about it on your stream? How are you feeling about this performance?
I think that now we can look ahead at going into the derby on our own terms, knowing that we can win it and keep the race tight. We got a head-to-head game against Milan next week, and fingers crossed. Uno di noi. Can we call Mourinho Uno di noi still? Yeah, of course we can. Hey. Of course we can. But he's gonna get something out of this game, bro. And it might be a red card. Oh wait, did he get a red card in the last game or the game before?
In the game before, so yeah, he should be back today.
He should be back on the sideline today. Okay, yeah. So I reckon it'll be a fiery one, man. A fiery one. So we'll see what happens there. But we go into the derby now knowing that we can really close the gap. And with Napoli, we know they're going to drop points eventually. We just really need to take care of ourselves. 3 points today. Also with drop points to Lazio, Atalanta, and Juventus also means that we gain precious points on these teams that we know for a fact that come match day 30, match day 32, we're still going to be looking to qualify for the Champions League in the easiest way possible. I mean, it's the expectation of the season that leaves you still with your head high, knowing that you can just get a top 2 or top 3 spot. Finishing fourth, obviously, still just as logistically successful, but you want to have that successful season that propels you into next season, Scudetto or not.
Of course, bro. Of course, you need to stay in those high positions, whatever happens. And yeah, the table's looking much better. And as you said, if Mourinho does us a favor today, if Milan, even if they drop 2 points, the table starts to look a little bit more, better. And then you can go into the derby, thinking about taking even more points off them. So then that can give you the boost for the rest of the season. So it's really important that Mourinho and his boys today do us a favor. And I'm not expecting anything from Salernitana. Napoli playing Salernitana. I mean, that's going to be a washout. I've seen that Osimhen is not available, but still I'm expecting a Napoli win there.
It's going to be a great game from a fan's perspective, though, that Napoli and Salerno. sort of game, man. Like
Oh
that'll
yeah,
just be
that's true.
really,
That's like
that'll
a
just be
derby,
really
isn't it?
nice. Well, pretty much, yeah, yeah. I mean, they're not like right next to each other, but it's about as close as you can get, really, especially with the lack of southern presence in Serie A.
Yeah, yeah. That's true. That's true. And yeah, if you guys don't know, Anthony does this show on Football Worldwide called Serie A Roundtable, where he gets fans from different teams, not just Inter. It's not just the Inter show. It's like fans from all Serie A. So make sure you check that out on Football Worldwide. Great start to the day, yeah. For us, I mean, for you, it's the end of the day in Australia, but for us here in the UK, it's the start of the day. Now I can watch the rest of the Serie A matches with a cup of tea in my hand, just chilling. I don't really care what's happening. Obviously, watching that Roma Milan match very closely, but apart from that, this is the best way to start a day. Um, these early kickoffs can be dodgy, but this is the best way to get past them. What's up, Keshav? Yeah, massive win ahead of the derby as well. Gives us that confidence going in. And yeah, clean sheet once again. We're improving, bro. We're improving. The defensive numbers were not looking good, and actually, Faris in his the assistant coach last week, because Inzaghi wasn't there, he said that we've understood that defensively we haven't been good enough. So clearly they've addressed this. So that's already a good sign from Inzaghi and his coaching team. They're not just okay with what was happening defensively. They've clearly addressed it, and you can see the uh, the differences for sure. 4 goals in 7 games, 3 started for TUCU. Yeah, that's not a bad record, is it, Anthony? 3 games started, 4 goals. Everyone was getting on his back. He was also injured. The few appearances that he's had recently, he's also coming back from an injury. So fans can be so harsh sometimes, don't you think?
I think in the grand scheme of signings since I've been a football fan, these three boys, Hakan, Dzeko, and Correa, have made a really good effing start to their time at our club, man. They are performing really, really well. They are showing great confidence, great respect and admiration for the badge, and they just really, really want to play. And you just see that the boys really get along well together. There's just a really big, there's all different factions that people feel comfortable with together and cohesively. Like D'Ambrosio said after the win against Empoli a few years ago, they really just shifted from being a me to a we, and you can see it. It's evident.
Yeah, definitely, bro. And as Snudgev said as well, if you look at the goals that we did concede in the Champions League, it was that crazy free kick from like 35 yards out where Handanovic should have done better. And then the other one was the penalty against Juventus. So in the last 4 games, really, there's no been goals from open play we conceded. And then the last 2 clean sheets as well. So yeah, clearly there's been clear improvement from Inzaghi in terms of the defensive side of things.
Although the goal that we did concede today that was ruled offside was a textbook goal that we would concede. You see where the ball ended up in the back of the net with Deulofeu? Like that was the sort of goal that we would have conceded.
55 rebounds, like just I was just like, yeah, this is an Inter goal to concede, but luckily it was disallowed. Yeah, Indro, perfect comment, because he was the anti-terrorist task force today. Osama bin Gotti's been destroyed. I mean, yeah, the stats show as well. These guys did not come out to play. Let me pull them up real quick.
Bro, honestly, they did not look like the Udinese that I've seen them play on the counter this season. But I think that's 8 games in a row without a win for them now, so they're on struggle street.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. It can work. This is like how Juventus are playing. You can get results here and there. Okay, you might beat a team here and there just because you get a chance and you take it. But yeah, 68% possession, 32 for them, 9 shots. I mean, they ended up having decent shots, but probably half of those shots were in that one corner, in that corner that they scored from.
Yeah.
So credit to the team to keep going, because the more the match goes on, the more Udinese would have got confidence. That's the problem with these matches. They're happy with a 0-0 draw. Where are they in the table now? Udinese 14th. I mean, this, I wouldn't say it's panic stations for them. They're pretty much where they would expect to be, right? Especially without the Paul this season.
Yeah, there's a few teams that are struggling, man, at the moment. Like, there's a few teams that are playing some really bad ball. Sampdoria is playing some really bad ball at the moment as well. I don't see. I don't know. It's a weird start to the season, but I'm really, really enjoying it. I think a lot of people's predictions have been pretty on point. This resurgence from Verona under Tudor is quite impressive, to be honest. And we all knew that Ivan Juric was going to get Torino ticking soon. So while we're having a nice chill session, man, I got to ask you, when could this Juve bubble burst, bro?
I mean, you could say last season was already it was burst. Wouldn't you say? Like they finally.
I guess so. They're in Retortal now, by the way.
Yeah. I've seen Allegri's taken them to the to like a retreat for a whole week as well, not just for a few days, for a whole week. So punishment for the players. And yeah, Allegri is like yeah. I mean, I was talking about it with Beppe on when we previewed the Inter Juve. You can same as Udinese, like you can like even Pirlo managed to do what Allegri did last season at one point. Just take your team back a few meters back, 4-4-2, block the lines, defend a little bit deeper. Like anyone can do that. Like I could do that if I was coach. Like that's especially if you have Bonucci and Chiellini, anyone can do that type of coaching. But clearly it's not sustainable, and they're being punished for it. So let's see if Allegri still has his mojo. Moving on to player ratings, bro. Let's see what who scored gave people. TUCU CORREA by far the man of the match here. Do you agree? I agree. It has to be man of the match, right?
Oh, 100%, man.
Who else? Barella got quite a high rating, 7.8. Skriniar, all the back line. I think Handanovic deserves a nice rating as well. The few saves he had to make, bro, he made them.
Gets an 8 from me, bro. He used his hands twice. He used his feet twice from my count. I think, honestly, I saw him make 3 or 4 saves today at least.
Yeah, Barella with 7 shots.
That's my brother, bro. That's my guy, bro. He's oh man, bro. In the first half, he should have gone down, man. That's a penalty. He takes a thigh to the chest or a thigh to the rib or something like that, and he gets up and he has that half volley off balance where the keeper saves it with his foot. Should have stayed down, bro. I swear to God, he would have got a penalty.
Probably. Or about past success, Brozovic 95 past success because he's pretty much played the whole match. That's very impressive. Who had the most dribbles? Let's see. Barella had the most dribbles, and then Brozovic, very nice. Who won the most aerials? Ranocchia. Yeah, Ranocchia. That was actually, this is where Ranocchia deserves respect, as I was saying, because Beto, their striker, is a 6'4" guy. Like I know Ranocchia is tall as well, but he deserves credit for coming in off cold like D'Ambrosio did last week. These guys have got barely any minutes this year, and it's not easy coming in like that.
Yeah, 100%, man.
Arturo Vidal only had like 20 minutes, and he still had the most tackles for Inter.
That guy was on point from before kickoff when he walked to the bench and started slapping everybody on the bench.
Yeah.
He's just a clown, man. Did you see the whip that he pulled up to training?
Ah, yes, the Fiat Panda.
Yeah, across the 3 car parking spots as well.
Who was the most dispossessed? I was expecting to see Correa up there. Sometimes these stats can be a bit deceiving, though. Not sure they're 100% accurate. Anyone else, bro? In terms of Perisic got 6.6 here on who scored that. I think that's pretty harsh for Perisic. I feel like he was one of the better players today.
I thought Perisic was fantastic. Honestly, I think Dumfries was really the only one that was rusty and dusty. But even he grew into the second half.
These SofaScore ones look a little bit more accurate to me. Yes, Dumfries 6.4 and Dzeko 6.4. 7 for Perisic here.
Dzeko could have had a more clinical game today. Just off the top of my head, where Correa's second goal probably should have been Dzeko's goal. To be honest, off that rebound, I think he hits the keeper from about 2.5 yards out. I think there's also a really good cross that Hakan puts in the second half where Dzeko at the back post with his header, he just mistimes the flick and it just goes straight over his forehead. And on the replay, I'm like, no, he's definitely capable of getting to that ball. I think in the first half, he failed to stretch all the way, but I think Barella also could have used Dumfries about 3 minutes in. Like, as you said, bro, the chances were there. This could have been a 4-0, 5-0 game against the one of, if not the most defensive side in the league, one of the, if not the hardest side in the league to break down. So don't underestimate these 2 wins against Empoli and Udinese because these are not easy to do at the moment. They're impressive.
They're exactly. And these are the type of teams that we've seen Inter struggle over the years, especially Udinese. What do you make of this question, which we were thinking, all the predicted lineups had Vidal or someone else apart from Barella in the starting 11, and then Inzaghi, it just seems like he doesn't trust any. It seems like Brozovic and Barella, he just doesn't trust anyone else. What do you think?
That or Barella gets the shits and goes, have I said anything? Did I say anything? No, why don't you just keep playing me? And that
he's definitely one of those players, right? Like he's not. Inzaghi asks him, "Are you okay?" He's going to say, "Yeah, I'm fine, 100%."
And he is uno di noi. He is an Interista. He wants to win, and he probably, if as a motivational strategy for his performance, he will believe that he is integral, if not the best player on this team. So pulling him out doesn't ride well with him as an Inter fan or as the catalyst of basically our midfield and our play. He was our best player in the first half today, to be honest, if you really want to be real.
Yeah, for sure. Sheriff asks why so shaky in the last 10 minutes. I mean, Udinese didn't do anything for the whole match, so there was going to be some point where they needed to try to do something. So it's fine. You can't. It's okay to suffer for like 10 minutes, but as long as you get the clean sheet like we did today, that's the good sign. Because the last few matches, I felt like when other teams attack us, I don't see us keeping a clean sheet. But now I'm starting to, um, be confident that this team can keep a clean sheet as well. Dumfries made some saves as well. Defensively he was solid. If we have to say, maybe going forward he wasn't technically that great, but we have to give him praise for the one part where we know that he's going to need time to adapt, which is defensively for sure. So credit for Kuro Black for pointing that out. Credit to you if you're on the Perisic train. Don't get off it. But I saw some comments saying that we need to make sure that we renew his contract. I'm not going to be able to find it now, but I saw a report saying that Perisic doesn't want to renew his contract yesterday. Well, what do you think of that, bro?
I think I don't even know if that'll be true until really late in the season where Perisic can adjust and really look at his options. He might get to the end of the season and he might adjust look at his options and go, you know what, I'm just really happy with my family in Milan. Why not stick around for one more year? He's definitely going on that year-to-year sort of contract. And honestly, man, if he wants to leave, he can leave, man. He does not owe this club anything else, bro. He can leave at the end of the season because he is the type of player where he might just still get top-level offers at the end of this season. Do not be surprised. Like, this guy could still go and start for Real Madrid on his day, I swear to God.
Yeah, I mean, he showed at Bayern Munich. He started a lot of matches ahead of Koeman, ahead of Gnabry, ahead of that stacked team that Bayern have. Because this guy, and he still starts for Croatia, even though they're quite a talented team. This is an interesting comment, actually. If I pull up the average positions today, Anthony, have a quick look on the screen when I pull this up. The average position, if you see there, look at Hakan. He's almost playing in the trequartista role there today. So, I mean, it looks almost like a 3-4-1-2 there.
Yeah, that's an interesting one. That is interesting. Also, Jekyll, man, he drops very, very deep today, didn't he? Dropped very, very deep.
He always does that. I always look at the average position. He's always the deeper one. Lautaro's usually the one that's higher up. So yeah, he kind of has to do that because that's the only way we're able to build up a lot of the time, because he's the one that's able to come in between the lines.
I think you can really see against a team like Udinese, we're trying to get as many players who have at least got some sort of technical touch or technical ability on the ball as possible in the final third.
Yeah. I think Correa, though, in the first half especially, I was not happy with his movement. A lot of the times he just kind of stands around. I want a little bit more off the ball from him.
Yeah, understood.
Yeah, I mean, today the shot directions, they were all focused through the middle and from the right side. And the attack sides, quite balanced. So I think when DiMarco's on the pitch, we definitely focus a lot more on the left-hand side. But when today was quite balanced. It was good to see that both sides were being used. Ball was being recycled. Actually, let me have a quick look at Correa's individual stats today. What did he? Was there anything? Yeah, he had one dribble attempt. You see, this is the thing with stats, though. Would you not count his goal as a dribble completed?
Yeah, of course it was. Are you talking about his first or second?
First one.
Bro, he had the ball for about 11 seconds. Of course he was dribbling the ball.
How does that? This is why I don't like, when people use these sofa score. I use them just as, a reference, just to gives me something visual to bring up on screen. But I hate it. That was clear. He dribbled, for about 30 yards and he put that guy on skates. What more? How is that not a dribble completed? That's what I don't like about these stats websites.
Some amazing stats for Bastoni today, though. 110 most touches. Did you say that before I got on or not? 110 touches, no. 102 with passes today, most passes, the most long balls, 14, 92% pass accuracy, 12 passes into the final third, 2 passes into the opposition box, and an assist.
Yeah, that's brilliant. Yeah, Bastoni is coming back to his level. I said against Empoli, he looked much better today. Once again, he looked much better. He had a shaky start, we have to admit. Well, as much as we love Bastoni, but he's coming back to his levels now, and I like to see that back-to-back clean sheet. Of course, that's amazing. Yeah, Perisic 6.6. I don't really understand that. Everyone knows how much I hate SofaScore, but don't worry, I'm not rating SofaScore. I just use them as a visual to bring up. Yeah, today Barella was like in full Freddie Guarin mode, bro.
Bro,
The
he
pigeons.
he wanted a goal. I think it's been a while since he when was the last time Barella scored for us? I can't remember the last time he scored for us
I
actually.
mean, he started off with a bang. It might have been even the Genoa match.
Could be. Could be. Oh, maybe did he score when we pumped Bologna 6-1?
Oh yeah, I think he scored in Bologna. Yeah. But yeah, he hasn't scored since then. He started off with a bang with lots of assists and lots of goals. So yeah, I think he's doing. I think that rate of goals and assists was way too high at the beginning. So he's just kind of going back to like a normal. But I think he's going to end up with his career high this season for sure.
Oh yeah, 100%. That's a fact. Sensi, yeah, I was about to say Sensi. He came on, right?
Yeah, but I don't know. I didn't really look at Sensi too much today. It didn't seem like he was too scared to play the ball. I mean, he only had 10 minutes.
Have you looked at the news in the last 25 minutes, or do I dare do the unthinkable?
Go on, do it. Just in case. I mean, he did a pre-match interview today where he said, "I'm completely fine," and yeah, we know what happened after that.
Oh man, the nerve of the guy to even say that on camera. Now
the team is getting better. The lineup can be tweaked since we have a ton of players. Yeah, man. I mean, fingers crossed. We still have a fully fit squad right now. Like it's crazy. Like when's the last time you remember we having us a fully fit squad?
When I saw the starting lineup, I was a little bit nervous because I'm like, oh, we got a few brothers out of form here. Like we're playing Ranocchia, who's had bare minutes. We're playing Hakan out of form, Dumfries out of form, Correa out of form. Hopefully all goes well. But then I looked at the bench. I'm like, oh, wow, you won't find a better looking bench than that in Serie A for your minds and your miles, man. Like Darmian Lautaro, Alexis Sanchez, and Arturo Vidal just sitting there chilling on the bench, waiting to go and play for us, man. It was a good vibe.
Good vibe for sure. Stacked. Bastoni is too lightweight against Success and Beto. Yeah, I mean, anyone. I mean, apart from Skriniar, I don't think any of our defenders, look, if they go in a shoulder to shoulder with one of those guys, they'll go flying off. But it's about how you manage that physical imbalance, and they managed it perfectly well. Someone should check on Barella's child birthday. Maybe that was just so eager to score. Yeah, we know Barella likes to score before when his child is when his wife's giving birth. It's his trademark.
My God, so he's gonna have to score pretty much every week eventually, man. What has he got? Like 5 kids? There's got to be a birthday. There you go. 5 match days. He's gonna have to score a fair few goals.
I mean, Indra bringing up stats from like the Lippi season. Wow, this guy's a football historian. I mean, I think that's a bit too far back to go.
Unbelievable that Itono didn't solve the problem for Lippi that season.
There's been a few this season in the Serie A, a few retiros that have happened already. I think Sampdoria have gone into one now. I think Lazio may have gone into one at some point.
I think Lazio went into one after the Hellas Verona smacking, didn't they?
It's a very Italian thing. Like I don't think any other like in football leagues do that.
Nah, man, just before I head off, man, Sharif, who do we start with and what's the score going to be, man? Because when's Sensi going to be able to have a start? We've got some players, man. Let's make the right decision and let's whoop Sheriff's ass by 3 or 4 goals.
I think Vidal deserves to start against Sheriff like he did. He had he was one of the best players that Sheriff in the Champions League. So I think he deserves to start. As I said, Lautaro, Dzeko, the best two, they have to start. We're away as well, so I would start Perisic. I don't know if I trust still DiMarco in a away Champions League match. At Baldo, you do want to rest Perisic for the derby. Yeah, and the starting back, I wouldn't even mind starting, D'Ambrosio in that match. Because we're gonna have a lot of the ball and they're gonna hit us on the counter attack a lot. So yeah, I would start. I was starting. Darmian obviously coming back. But what do you think? Should we rotate in that match? I feel like we should start our strongest lineup. We don't really have much of a choice.
I think you start your strongest lineup in this game, bar maybe like if you want to rest Barella in this one, you can maybe rest Barella for Vidal, as you said. But I don't think there's any. You just take the fittest, best starters possible. Close the game out quickly. Make sure everyone's rested for the derby, and I don't think it's going to be a problem. I think our players are up for it. And I think we've got the depth for it, man. I'm feeling much better after the last 2 results. That was a very tricky 4 days to come out from, and to come out of that with 6 points after that penalty against Juve, it could have gone either way mentally. And that's what I feared more than the result. That's what I think we both feared more than the result. What's going to be the impact of this? And the impact has been 4 goals, none conceded, 6 competition points, my G.
Exactly, bro. Would you start Correa against Sheriff?
Yeah. Could you start Correa and Alexis?
Yeah, I've talked about that, but then you basically have no strikers. You've basically got like 2 false nines. But it could be interesting. It could be. As I said, I want to see every single one of those partnership being played because we've got so many options up front. I want to see Alexis Dzeko. I want to see every possible combination that we have because you never know. It could be, it could be a really good partnership. That one. What do you think?
I think so, bro. I think we've got the luxury of having these players. Why not? You got to cook with all your ingredients and see what
Yeah.
tastes the best, man.
And we know with
So,
Inzaghi, he's probably gonna
yeah,
review that because we know with the Conte it was gonna be Lautaro and Lukaku until death, and unless Lukaku has malaria, and that's the only way that Lukaku wasn't gonna start. But with Inzaghi, you never know. Like you before this match, you just don't know with Inzaghi if the predicted lineups are correct.
100%, man. I agree. My bro, I'm going to head off. It's been good. And shout out to the bloke in one of the chats today that said Joaquin Correa hasn't done anything more than Pinamonti this season because I bet you're feeling the smartest today, man. That was a good comment. That's the one that made me laugh the most. So big up everybody in the Sharma chat as well. If you feel like it, go and follow Inter Worldwide. Thanks, Zeal. I'll speak to you soon, my bro.
Ciao, bro.
So
Thank
good.
you.
Ciao, my brother.
Yeah, guys, I'm going to stay for a few more minutes with you guys. Let me know what kind of stuff you want to talk about before we go. I'm going to quickly have a look again at the. Let's have a look at kind of anyone. Yeah, let's talk about Molina because I want to talk about. Remember in my preview, I said to you guys like keep an eye on him. What did you make? What did you give him of Nahuel Molina? Because he's strongly linked with Inter last summer. Argentinian, of course, so he's going to be linked with us anyway. He wasn't great today, to be honest, but it was a difficult match for these guys, the Udinese guys. They didn't really have much of the ball, so it's hard to judge any of the Udinese players, to be honest. Let's have a look. He's not particularly impressive today, Molina. But as I said, it's probably not the best match to judge him. He looks like Luis Muriel in that picture there. Or about Beto could be an interesting possible guy to look at, but I think it's again not the best matchup. Oh yeah, one thing I noticed, guys, our average starting 11 was 29.4 years old. It's quite an old starting 11. Obviously, Dzeko and Handanovic skew that stat a lot, but this is why the project is going to have to move soon to kind of different type of going back to trying to look for younger players rather than the Vidals and the Kolarovs and the Dzekos. Obviously, you always need the experience and proven winners, but with less money, less wages being on offer, we're gonna have to go back to kind of signing the Stefano Sensis, the Di Marcos, the Gagliardini, that kind of going back to that project. Lautaro Martinez is off this world as well. So it's going to be a very interesting time for Marotta this summer. It's probably going to be the hardest summer for Marotta and co. I agree. Vidal must start for the Sheriff game. Harry, don't worry, bro. You're always apologizing for something, but you never have to apologize as long as you're supporting this channel. I always appreciate you. Yeah, I was disappointed with Dumfries, but I feel like he does redeem himself in the end. He had the assist in the end. He could have even had a goal, to be honest, Dumfries at the end as well. And his decision making is poor. But one thing I always say with players, guys, you have to look at what positions are they getting, and as long as they're getting into the right positions, that's a good sign. When the striker's not scoring, as long as he's getting in the right position, that's always a good sign. With Dumfries, he's getting in the positions, he's just not quite has the technical ability or quite making the right decision, or the luck isn't quite there, but he's getting into the right position, and let's just give him some time to adapt. The main thing actually with Dumfries, I was disappointed when he was getting kind of bullied physically at some points. Like I felt like in the Serie A he would be just completely, out muscling players like he was with Hickey, but Hickey is like half the size of him. But today against Striger Larson, Samir, like those kind of guys, he didn't seem to make his physical presence being felt as much, which is what I would expect that to be his minimum. Matteo says he still prefers Nandes over Molina, and it's probably, if Cagliari keep playing like this, is probably the most doable as well. If you can get Nandes on loan, and because of his adaptability, Nandes, you can put him anywhere on this team and he'll do a job for you. Future Hendrix, thank you very much for the donation. I don't even know what currency is that. Is that like some? Well, I have no idea what. Yeah, let me know where you're from because I have no idea what that currency is. But thank you very much. I appreciate your support, and you're already a channel member, bro. You don't need to do. You don't need to do that. Thank you very much. Yeah, I agree. Molina wasn't great, but it's also because of how Udinese was set up. We need a ball carrying, pacing wing back, and Molina looks far from it. I agree. Yeah, he's the starting right back now for Argentina. But yeah, I think it's time for Inter to start playing a little bit of Moneyball. You have to start looking at maybe not who the most sexy name is or who the most in demand player is, but maybe start to look at players that are not, what AC Milan did, in terms of going for someone like, Theo Hernandez, who was kind of coming off a few shaky years. How they did with Benacer, players that you might think are, coming from relegation teams, relegation level teams, but they're just cheaper, lower wage, and you just have to kind of improve them. Because we just don't have the budget now. We can't go for a Hakimi, the best right wing back available right now. Have I shot my load over Correa? Yeah, I'm gonna do that in my private time. Don't worry, brother. But Correa sexuals, as you like to call us, Nima, we're eating good today, so yeah, you can stay quiet for a little bit, and you can eat some humble pie on your Hunchback FC. Even though Belotti did score a nice goal yesterday. I don't like that our fans hate on our players. Yeah, I always say, I mean, I can understand after a while, if you say that, it's February, March time, and you see that Hakan is stinking out the pitch, then I can start to understand that, get this guy out of it, get Correa out of it, flop. But we're in October. We're coming up to November now. This is way too early. Like, at least give these guys 6 months if you're going to start, making conclusions, start hating on players. Like, this is sometimes this reminds me, if you remember how Ericsson was treated the first year. The whole fan base was excited about Ericsson, and then he wasn't fitting in, and everyone was like, "Oh, this guy needs to leave. He's a waste of space, waste of wages." Then people are also getting on Conte quite rightly for not using him correctly. But you just have to give these guys some time. And you have to. Is the coach using the player correctly as well? Is there something we can use? Is Dumfries being used correctly? Because I feel like we should use his aerial ability a little bit more. Dumfries, we should get him into the box like how he does for Netherlands. How Louis van Gaal used him. How De Boer, even Frank De Boer, seemed like he was using Dumfries properly. So sometimes you should also question how the player is being used. As we've seen Correa, he seems like he's a transitional player. He seems like he's a counter-attacking player. So maybe that's the best way to use him on the counter-attack against tired defenses in the second half of matches. But also at the same time, we have to say to Correa that you have to do better, trying to find spaces, trying to find spacing between the lines. What he was doing in the first half wasn't good enough. He wasn't making himself available for passing lanes. He wasn't getting himself in the dangerous situations. But that's going to come with time. Like, we have to give these guys some time. I don't like I think maybe not. Yeah, maybe that's right, Indra. Not hating per se, but the lack of patience. Like, we're in October. Like, be patient, guys. And obviously, I'm not gonna. You can do whatever you want. You can judge players however you want. I'm kind of lean on the more balanced side of things. I do try to give players a lot more time, and I do try to be patient. So, oh wow, Mohamed's gonna be at the derby next week. Wow, that's amazing, bro. Yeah, I'm very jealous of you. And is the derby away next week? Are we? Well, technically, you know what I mean. Like, are we away? Let me have a quick look. Yeah, so we're technically away. So you're gonna be in the small section of Interfans. So yeah, good luck, bro, and make your voice heard. Make sure you let these guys know that you're there and support them. And yeah, try to counteract the boos for Hakan, because Hakan, if he starts, is gonna get booed massively. So you guys have to be the ones that make sure to make Hakan feel that he's got the support of Interisti. Massimo, love you, bro. Thank you very much for becoming a member of the channel. Thank you. You're a regular member of the channel, so I appreciate you very much. And yeah, let me know if you want to come on to the channel. Anyone is always welcome on this channel to come and talk to me and be on the live streams for sure. Thank you very much. Indra says Molina looks more suited to a 4-man defense than a wing back. Yeah, he does look like he's a solid defender first, and then decent going forward. Kostic remains the dream, yeah. As if Perisic is not signing the contract, and if Kostic you wanted to leave for Lazio this past summer, and I'm sure if Inter come in rather than Lazio this next summer, he's gonna definitely prefer Inter if you go in for him. So I like that. Mazraoui is going to be free agent at the same time as Onana. Ooh, interesting. These are the type of deals that we Inter need to look at. Coming from Ajax, I haven't really looked that much of Mazraoui, so I'm not going to comment. But of the few things I've seen from him, he does look like an interesting wing back. Well, which side is he? Is he a right wing back or a left wing back? Hakan FC assemble. I mean, I don't think Hakan FC has been assembled as of yet. I don't think the club has been assembled. But if he scores in the derby, like, guys, imagine if Hakan, Tataru, as I said to Anthony, Tatarusanu is in goal for them. Manyan is still out. We need to shoot on sight. That guy is not a good goalkeeper. Hakan, shoot on sight. When you're 25, 30 yards out, just have a go. Just have a pop, mate. You never know. Tatarusanu might let, one slip underneath his legs or something. And if Hakan scores against Milan, guys, I'll say this right now. If Hakan scores against Milan and we win, I'm buying a Hakan shirt live. You can clip me. How much is Hala going to cost? Hey, bro, the way that guy's scoring right now in the Champions League as well, you can forget about Hala. Because Ajax, they are a selling club, but you do have to pay good money for them. You think TUCU can become more consistent right into? I doubt it, to be honest. It's just how he is. Like today, I think is the perfect description of TUCU CORREA. Like he's gonna give you 60 minutes of stinking and then something out of nothing. I hope you're right about Correa. He and Dumfries were awful today, but they ended it with 2 goals and assist, important for their confidence. Yeah, but I've said with Correa as well, like I wasn't fully on the Correa train. Like I know I'll make the jokes and the memes, but I like personally TUCU, like personally me. But was he the right signing for Inter? I don't think he was the right signing. I felt like we needed a Duvan Zapata or a Belotti type player, in my opinion. But Inzaghi wanted Correa really, really badly. And after the summer of, taking away Lukaku, Hakimi, all these players from him, I felt like we needed to give him at least one player that he wanted. So that's why I am on the Correa train. But if you ask me, should it have been signed? Should we have spent 31 million on Correa? I don't think that was the right signing. But for me personally, I get enjoyment from players like Correa who can create things out of nothing like he did today. Dumfries is definitely one guy that I wasn't certain on for sure. But I'm going to give them time. But going back to King Darian's question, this is what we need to get used to. And you can ask any Lazio fan. He's one of those players who's inconsistent within a match. Like, how Lautaro as well. Like Perisic sometimes can be as well. He does one good thing, and then he does some stupid thing the next moment. And then he'll score a goal out of nothing, and then he'll disappear for the rest of the match. Like, that's just TUCU CORREA. And he's 27 years old now. I don't think he's going to improve. He's past that stage now, I think. Harry says, I still think Dumfries will be a good player. Just feel like he needs more time to be integrated. Exactly. I don't know if I would start Darmian over him, but I still would give him at least. Has he had 2 matches in a row where he started Dumfries? I don't think so. Has Correa had 2 matches in a row where he started because of injury as well? No, he hasn't. Until you give matches, as I was saying with Ericsson, give the guy 3, 4, 5 matches in a row starting, and then we can start to say, okay, this guy is not good enough. This guy hasn't fit in. That's the only way you can judge a player. You can't judge a player of like 20 minutes and then say that, he's a flop. Yeah, Correa could have had, I'm not sure about the second assist, but definitely could have had 1 assist at least for because Barella should have scored, so he could have had an assist. Mazraoui from a couple of Ajax games is a technical player for a defender, but no, if he's suited to play as a wing back, yeah, I can take a look at him. If you're saying that he's going to be a free agent, so he's an interesting player. And the only way we can afford Haaland is, or Haaland, sorry, Nima, if you're still there, is if Newcastle relegates to Champions League in Saudi by Inter from swimming. Yeah, those kind of players are pipe dreams for us now. The Lukaku signing, that's the last big statement signing from Inter, I think, for a long time. TUCU had 8 goals from 28 games last season, but he's already on 4 and 7 so far. Yeah, so he's already, in terms of scoring rate, he's improving already. And, he has a better team around him. the China Erkin sticker offends me. Hey, that's why you have to stay in the. If you stay for more time, you're gonna get up to the Freddie Guarin level. Then you get up to the Materazzi level, or is it the Adriano level after that? And then you get to the Javier Zanetti China membership level. Yeah, we have to give Dumfries time to speak Italian. You can still see he's not really able to communicate with his teammates, apart from De Vrij, who speaks Dutch, and a few guys that speak English in the team. He's not able to communicate with his team yet. So let's give him time, guys. Let's give him time. Against opponents like Udinese, Dumfries over Darmian. Darmian didn't offer much against this type of game. Yeah, we saw that even last week. Darmian was good against Empoli, but going forward, there wasn't much that he was offering really 1v1. I mean, Dumfries didn't offer it really, but as I said, like Dumfries has that potential of having that goal threat in the box. His heading ability, aerial ability, physically, he's able to offer a little bit more, and on the counter attack as well, just to a bit of pace, which Darmian isn't able to offer. But in the big matches for now, Darmian is definitely the go-to guy because defensively he's the solid one. But will Holland want to sign for a club under Saudi owner? Remember Norway national team campaign? Yeah, but I don't know. Is Holland driving that campaign, or is it the Norway national team, or I don't know if players are that morally strong in their decisions that they would turn down 300, 400k a week and a big project. But yeah, Haaland's not going to go to Newcastle anyway. He's going to go to one of the big teams. He's going to go to Real Madrid, PSG. He's going to go to an elite. He's not going to go to Newcastle to get those big signings. It will take some time. But yeah, guys, if you don't have any more closing comments, I'm happy to close the stream here. 63 people here right now, guys. Make sure you leave a thumbs up, guys. Really, really appreciate your support. Pre-match for Sheriff will come soon, and hopefully I can get 4 match predictions right in a row. I'm on a little streak right now, so hopefully we can get that one in the bag as well. When are we playing actually, Sheriff? Is it Wednesday or Tuesday? Let me have a quick look. We're playing Sheriff on Wednesday, 8 o'clock. So Sheriff preview will come on Tuesday. So keep a lookout for that. What's my favorite Perisic replacement? Yeah, someone commented earlier is Kostic. Although with Kostic now, he's getting up in age. Like I think he's 29 years old now. So that's the problem with Kostic. Kostic, I wanted him, the first season when Conte first came in, and then last season when Conte was there. But now he's getting up in age as well. So I don't know if he's the ideal guy anymore for me. But if he's available on a cheap transfer, then Kostic is still my favorite possible replacement for Perisic. He's very similar to Perisic, a guy who used to play as a winger, very athletic, up and down, hard-working winger, but converted as a wing back. So yeah, that's probably a question that we can take a look at towards the end of the season and start to have a look at possible replacements, a video that we can do, and possible Perisic replacements. Who do you think should start in Champions? Yeah, Ali, we talked about it briefly with Anthony. I think Vidal should start for sure because of his performance against Sheriff last time round. And then I think Dzeko, Lautaro, to be honest, need to start in that match. Unless, but that's the thing right now, guys. We've got 4 strikers who are really, you could say, really, really pushing for a starting spot right now. We got Correa, who today proved that, he's ready when you call him. Sanchez, he's proved that he deserves to be playing a lot more than he has been. Dzeko obviously has been in great form. Lautaro hasn't been in great form, but he's Lautaro. He's our guy, and he's starting a new contract. So we've got 4 guys that are ready and roaring to start. Like, it's a really good problem for Inzaghi to have at the moment, and all of them are going to be moody and Mardy when they're not started. So it's a nice problem to have, but also difficult to manage the happiness and the morale. What about the Cambiaso kid from Genoa? Yeah, he looks interesting, but he doesn't seem to have particularly any standout ability from far as I've seen. Like, he doesn't seem like to be particularly athletic or anything. He's just got the young Italian bonus, hasn't he? Bin in the house as well. Thank you very much. Early supporter of the channel as well. Bin, my guy. I have this mic thanks to my guy Bin. 5 struggle. Remember Satriano? Yeah, okay. Satriano actually was sent to the Primavera this past week because Inzaghi said, you're not getting any playtime with us, so you might as well get some playtime with the Primavera. So he's back in the Primavera now. Satriano. So that's why I was saying that he should have been loaned out. Why can't DiMarco replace Perisic? I mean, he is the Perisic replacement, but I don't know if he's proven yet that he can be the long-term left wing-back starter, especially defensively yet. But he's definitely showing that he's into level in terms of being a squad player. But you know, have we seen DiMarco in a big match yet? That's let's see, you know, DiMarco in a big match and defensively. Yep, nice to see the Correa brace and the assist from Dumfries. I think we'll need to send load. Yep, Satriano needs to go on loan. Zaniolo injured again. No, I think Zaniolo's fit, isn't he? I'm pretty sure Zaniolo is starting today. I think he got injured in one match at some point. I think I remember seeing him limp off, but I think he's back, unless I'm incorrect. Nandes or the blonde guy from Sampdoria. Who's the blonde guy from Sampdoria? Berezinski, you're talking about. Yeah, I don't like Berezinski, to be honest. I don't think he's into level. Nandes, yes. But then don't left wing backs if we're talking about left wing backs. Satriano should follow Recoba's legacy at the Venezia. Oh, that's a good one. If Venezia are interested, yeah, give us a call. That would be an interesting one. Yeah. No Serie B, please. But yeah, guys, 52 guys here. Make sure you guys leave a thumbs up, and we'll see you for the Sheriff preview. 2-0. Forza ragazzi. Forza Inter.